Okay, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to showcase the recently completed, in the last few months, Zulu project, as in physical Zulus and British colonials. Like a lot of you, I've watched the movie Zulu and Zulu Dawn, and I love them both. Great films from my childhood, just wow. And for years and years now, I've been wargaming and painting figures, and I've never painted one of my favorite periods, and I needed to correct that, and I have. In front of me we have obviously British colonials. These are all Perry miniatures, the plastic set. I bought one box of their 1879 colonial Zulu War British. They are painted as a 24th foot. I didn't really want to do the 24th foot because everyone does that regiment. I was going to do the 80th or maybe 33rd, or I'm not sure, one of the other ones. But just as I was about to paint the little like green arm iconography for the 24th, the cuffs and the collars, I changed my mind and I went back to the 24th foot because really they are the iconic regiment from that war. So, hey, I did them. So these are all Perry miniatures, one box, and these are the all Warlord game Zulus. Now, initially I wanted to get Perry miniature Zulus, but my local store, well, it's not really local to me, it's an hour away, but the Tistamini store and the Torchlight store, I'm in Hamilton, they didn't have any Zulus, so I physically bought the Warlord games. I was going to go on, rambling. I went on the Perry website and I was going to order some in, but the shipping from the UK was just bleh. So I went to Warlord Games and I ordered their army set because it was on sale, and I had some of those points that you get from the Warlord web store if you buy stuff. So I had $40 to spend from them in their little weird like point vouchers. So this was a fairly cheap set, so I decided to buy them. That's 80 Zulus in total, broken down between 36 married, 34 unmarried. There's 8 riflemen, and then a little commander here for them and a little commander here for them. And we'll get down closer and I'll show them off a little closer, but the fact that I have these painted, something inside of me is like, finally, now I can relax and move on to the next thing. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and it's finally done. Years ago I did buy the Warlord Games set for Works Drift that they made. It was a massive MDF, there was teddy bear fur in the box, there was resin cast pieces, there was the characters. I bought that set when it first came out, and it was like $450 Canadian at the time. It was a lot of money. It was about 10, 20, 15 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. And it sat in my basement for 8 of those years. And then 4 years ago, I finally sold it online, and a fella came to my town here where I live, and he picked it up, and it was really nice. So I was happy that he was finally, because he seemed really excited, so I sold it to him. And then, oh well. But it was only in the last year or so when I was rewatching Zulu Dawn, I thought to myself, like, why did I do that? What's wrong with me? Why did I sell my stuff? But that's in the past. So bought a box of these, the Warlord Army, and I painted them. And I enjoyed the project so much. Like, I have not enjoyed painting a project like the Imperial Romans from the last video. I really enjoyed, but after a while, they got, it was tedious in the second week. The first week I was fresh, I was going through them, it was fine. The second week was kind of tedious. With these figures, I never hit the tediousness. Even though I was painting 80 Zulus, I never got that, like, because they were so easy to paint. And I mean, they're not painted extremely well, obviously, but because they were so easy to paint, and I enjoyed painting the British uniforms so much, the red coats, that I never got that tedious part of the painting when you're batch painting. I never got that with this project. It's what I'm really, really happy about. But I did drive down to Tistamini's a couple of weeks ago, and I did pick up, because they had in stock, the Perry version of the Zulus. So I have a box of them upstairs on built, and I will do them and add them to this. So there will be about 120 Zulus versus, 34 British, which seems about right to me for a good, decent game. I bought a rule set from Amazon, the Men Who Would Be Kings Blue Book from Osprey. I bought that, so I'm going to give that a whirl. I don't think I have enough figures here. Whoops, stop, don't knock the camera. I don't think I have enough figures here for like a black powder game. But we'll see. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get down and see the minis a little closer up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to show off the British first, so get ready for a zoom extraordinaire. Here is the British 24th foot. He's kind of loading his gun there. That's one. We got a guy that's firing here. Here he is. Nice campaign beard on him. The Perry figures are really nice. I really enjoyed these painting these figures. We'll get a fellow with his hat off here just to show the face a little better. I'm sure if you're into this period, you've seen these figures 1,000 times, but this is my version of him. We'll do one more. We'll do one with the little cap on it. Field cap, whatever this is called. For a second there, he looks like Private Jones from Dad's Army, or whatever that, the Corporal Jones, or the guy who, whoever the fellow was, where the actor was like 40 and the rest of them were 70, so they made him do all the kind of stunts. That guy, the butcher, it kind of looks like him a little bit, but he was in the Sudan, not in the Zulu land. So let's just move on from that. One of my favorite TV shows of all time. I try and get my wife to watch it, but she doesn't really understand what's happening. I find it hilarious. Here's my version of Bromhead. We'll do an officer in his tunic, or whatever this is called, his little jacket. We'll do the engineer that I painted up. So this is no, that was Chard. Bromhead was the snobby one. This is my version of Chard. Just kind of looking out. He has a little assistant with him. Sorry for reaching over the camera. He has this little guy here just kind of writing down his notes. And the Perry set comes with all these neat little figures. I'm sure you've seen it unboxing if you're interested. But it comes with all these neat little figures, which I really appreciated. And then I felt like I needed to paint a color sergeant, or whatever this sergeant's called. And this is my version of the Bourne, but color sergeant Bourne, whatever it is. But I know in reality he was a young guy. He was actually one of the youngest sergeants in the British Army at the time of Rourke's Drift. But my memory goes off the movie, not off history. So that's why I painted him like that. And then I don't have the flag on him, but here's a standard bearer. You know, one of the things that when you paint the 24th foot, that's one of the reasons why I made that like hard right turn. After saying to myself I would never paint the 24th foot because everyone does that. It's because really the two memorable, and I know there was several battles, small and some large, in Zululand at the time, but the main ones people will know are Rourke's Drift and Island Luana. So it only made sense if I ever wanted to play a Island Luana type game. Well, if I had the 80th foot, that wouldn't really make sense. But anyway, so that's them. Now the Warlord. We'll get to the Warlord games, Zulus. Now, I don't particularly like these figures. I couldn't buy the Warlord game British figures because I couldn't stand them. For some reason they don't look realistically proportioned, so I bought the Perry figures. And I wanted Perry Zulus, but no one had them in stock, and I didn't want to pay the crazy shipping prices. So I didn't put a lot of love into these because I had to paint so many of them. I did manage to paint all the Rise, even though they all look like zombies. And although my lighting in here is very poor, there is 3 shades of color on the skin there. God, he looks terrible. But anyway, that's a little rifleman. We'll do a married or a non-married guy with his little thrusting spear, or whatever that thing is called. We'll do one more of those. Again, close up they don't look the best, obviously, but they are they were easy to paint, and 3 feet away they look good. If anyone's wondering, the basing material I used is the Geeks Gaming Scenics, one of their brands. I don't add anything to it. I do nothing to it. It's just like that. Like, but glue. I put glue on the base and I just dip it in, shake it around, and it comes out just like that. And I don't need to do anything more, so I just don't. So here's like the British guy. If you see his base, come on, Derek, pro camera work. Here's his base. You know, maybe a little bit too rocky, but I love it. Anyway, there's that Zulu. We'll show you a married one now. Here's a married one. Some of the poses with the Warlord game stuff are a little wonky. I know there is set arms to go with set bodies, but the figures aren't the best. I'm really looking forward to doing the Perry version and comparing them later, or maybe just to myself. We'll do one more married Zulu. I like this guy's head. He has a really good face. Some of them have really goofy faces, like this guy here is a really goofy face. I don't like that one particularly, but who else? Is this guy here? Maybe it's because his eyes, but this guy here is a really goofy looking face. But this guy here is a very realistic. I really like that. So they're all basically the same, so there's no point in looking at any more. We'll look at the little leader. The Warlord Games box set doesn't actually come with any kind of command figure, so I just kind of jimmy rigged my own. So this guy is the boss, for better or worse. He's the boss of the married set. Wow, my hands. And he is the boss of the unmarried guys, because he's got a black shield. And I'll zoom back out, and we'll go back to regular zoom. So that is that. That is my Zulus done. I'll just move the camera up here a little bit so it's not quite so bad. I really love the Perry figures. They're really nice. I don't have enough good things to say about them. They do excellent work, but I'm sure if you're interested in this period, you will already know that. I really like the different options in the box set for different types of like personality figures. That was really the Warlord Games box doesn't have near that kind of command options in the set. So although I wanted to make a few more regular troopers, there was just too many options to make for cool engineer officers and regular officers and sergeants, so I made them. And I probably won't be able to use all of these figures in one, especially in the rule set. The men who would be kings, the blue book from Osprey. I don't think you're going to have this many figures in the game. Probably maybe just one section, but at least I have the options. So anyway, that's it. 12 minutes in, and that is my Zulus. This was another project that I got done in the 3-month break that I took that you've probably noticed on the channel. If you even bother, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this was the second project that I did. I did the Romans first, then I did the Zulus and British next, and I'll be back in another few days showing off another project. Okay, bye for now.